Hey guys, it's Kevin again. This is going to be yet another classic movie review for you guys. This time, though, it's not really... This movie, it's a little bit delayed because it took me actually 2 days to watch because I had so much other shit to watch on TV and things like that. So, because of that, I just finished this movie just now because, as you guys know, with these classic movie reviews, I watch them for the first time and then I review them to you guys. That's how I work with these. And basically, the movie that I'm going to be reviewing to you guys is a movie that I've been really looking forward to reviewing. It's known as a lot of people call it the single most epic movie of all time, and that movie is Gladiator. And, this movie, I was really looking forward to Gladiator. I've heard so much, critical acclaim from this movie. It was critically acclaimed, and I was really, really looking forward to it. So, if you got, Gladiator, it's actually one of my dad's favorite movies. He loves to watch this movie. It's actually his Blu-ray, actually, so I'm holding his Blu-ray right now. It's one of his favorite movies. It got a bunch of awards. In fact, as you can see here, it says winner of 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It got 5 Academy Awards, which is really awesome for a movie like this, and does Gladiator deserve all the praise it got? Yes, Gladiator is amazing. It is such a great movie. It deserves all the critical acclaim it gets. I love this movie. I was on the edge of my seat for a lot of this movie, which I'll get to, and I absolutely loved Gladiator. I thought it was fantastic. So the plot of Gladiator actually is kind of big. Now, if I reveal too much about the plot, I'm going to get into spoiler territory, which will go to spoilers. But basically, in a nutshell, this movie is about this guy, Maximus. And Maximus Muratus, who, by the way, was a real person. He is the brave general. He is the general of this army fighting in, I believe it's like the 1500s, I believe. Yes, it's the Roman era. I know that. I don't know exactly when it takes place, but it's the Roman era at some point. Basically, he is in this war and everything, and he meets up with this, in this war, you see like this huge attack and everything, and he ends up meeting with this guy, he ends up meeting with Anthony Hopkins' character, who he is getting very, very old, as we can see. His character's, what was his character's name? Marcus Aurelius. He is getting very, very old. He's dying and everything. And he's the emperor, and he wants Russell Crowe to take his place, of course. And he says, I want you to take my place. I think you'd be very good for that. However, his son, played by Joaquin Phoenix, what's his son's name? Commodus gets very, very jealous of this, and basically goes out to, he gets very, very jealous that Maximus was chosen, not him, so he goes out to basically get his revenge on Maximus, turns him into a slave, and when Maximus realizes I'm not going to spoil anything else, but when Maximus realizes what Commodus has done, he decides to get his revenge and become a gladiator, and basically turn people against him. That's what he wants to do in this movie, and that's what Gladiator's basically about. I could reveal more about it, but I'd be revealing spoilers. So, that's basically, in a nutshell, what Gladiator's about. Very, very, very big plot, very great plot overall. I really enjoy the plot of this movie. And, I'll get to, some of the great parts of this movie. Of course, the best part of this movie, by far, there's so many great parts of this movie, but let's first get to the acting in this movie. Oh my god, guys, Russell Crowe in this movie. This is by far Russell Crowe's best performance. I've seen Russell Crowe in quite a few movies. This is by far my favorite performance from him. He is perfect as Maximus. I couldn't think of anyone else to play him. When he wasn't cast, this role was originally supposed to go to Mel Gibson. Everyone's, he thought he was too old to do it because, he did Braveheart before. So they thought, he did Braveheart, why not do Gladiator? However, he was way too old to do it at this point, so they decided to have Russell Crowe do it. He was perfect for this movie. I thought he was fantastic. He really commanded the role. He really stole the show in the movie. He did a really, really great job. I really loved all the scenes he was in. You really felt the epicness from him. You really felt bad for him as well, because he was basically played by Commodus, and you wanted him to kick his ass and everything, and he kicks a lot of ass in this movie as well, which is really awesome. But he did a really great job in the movie, and he definitely deserves that Oscar, the Oscar win that he got, because he definitely does deserve that. Then you have Joaquin Phoenix as Commodus, who was also really, really good. Very menacing, very villainous type. However, you did understand you did have a little bit of sympathy for him because you understood that this was all out of pure jealousy. The whole movie, the whole reason he's doing what he's doing is because he's jealous of Maximus. Because he's not, he wasn't chosen. It was Maximus that was chosen. I thought, did a really good job, and I really liked his performance in the movie. I really feared his character. He did a really great job, and definitely he was really, really good. Connie Nielsen, she plays his ex one of his ex-lovers. She did a really good job. You know, she didn't have too much to do in the movie. However, she is appointed by Commodus along the movie. You know, basically, her brother Commodus is incestuous towards her. He's in an incest relationship with her, and he tries to, like, flirt with her and everything, but she wants nothing to do with him. She really loves Maximus, and that's really the person that she loves. So I think she did a really great job in the movie. She was really, really great. She really shined in the movie, and she was really great as well. And the only other person I'll talk about is Anthony Hopkins. He only has a couple scenes, but he did a really great job. He really is a very important character for the movie, and without him, a lot of this movie would not have happened. So he did a really good job as well. Now let's get to the biggest part of this movie, which of course is the spoilers. If you have not seen Gladiator, do not listen to the rest of this review because there are some major spoilers here. Okay, so now let's get to the spoilers. Of course, the biggest thing about this movie is that it turns out that Commodus actually killed Maximus's wife and son. You know, he raped his wife, as we find out, and then he killed his son, which is just really, really huge. And then when he found it out, I was just like, kill him now. Because this guy was so much more menacing than we thought. He was willing to do anything to basically ruin Maximus. And he did that by raping his, raping his wife, things like that. Just, wow. This guy was so out of line. And I just thought that was such a great reveal. The way they didn't reveal that was very, very well done. The way that they, basically in the beginning of the movie, we just see him training and being a gladiator. And he does a really good job with that. However, I thought it was very surprising that they didn't reveal that till the end of the movie. I thought that was definitely very well done. They don't reveal it until, like, the 45 minutes left of the movie, and it's definitely very, very well done they did that. So, I really enjoyed that they did that, because I think it just added to the movie and made it better, actually, that they chose to reveal that not till the end. Of course, the other big thing, of course, is the ending. The ending, I thought, was amazing. I love the ending of this movie. Of course, as we know, Maximus does win the fight. However, he does die. But he died a hero. He died a hero, he died a legend, and everyone remembers him after that, which is what is so great about this movie. He kind of starts the whole dying a hero thing, and everyone remembering him as a hero. And that's what he did. People remembered Maximus. People remember Maximus. People remember the guy he was. They remembered how great of a leader he was. That's how they remember him. And I thought that was great with his character. The way that he died and everything. Then the way that they ended the movie was very, very good, and I really enjoyed about this movie. By the way, this movie is surprisingly very emotional. I didn't expect it to be as emotional as it was. Very emotional movie. I thought that was really good as well. Now let's get to by far the best part of this movie, the special effects and the graphics in this movie. This is one of the most graphic movies I've seen because it is very realistic with the combat. I'm going to say this, do not turn your sound up in this movie. It is extremely loud, because, let me tell you guys something. I was being called for dinner. I'm watching this movie, I'm being called for dinner. My parents literally had to scream at the top of their lungs so I could get dinner, because this movie is so loud. Like, this movie, if you turn up really loud, it's like surround sound movie theater. It is very loud. It really makes you feel like you're in that Coliseum, and I thought that was definitely a very good thing that they did. I like that they made the movie very loud, because it really added to the movie, and I like that. The other thing I like about this movie was when we got to the Coliseum, everybody was screaming his name. You really got to see that the people who went to this Coliseum, they wanted to see blood, they wanted to see gore, they wanted to see all this, like, crazy shit, they wanted to see all those crazy attacks and things like that. That's what they wanted to see. And you know what, I thought they did a really good job of realistically portraying that, when they're shouting his name, Maximus, very, very good job of doing that. That was fantastic. The sets in this movie, oh my god, they're so awesome, so awesome. And by the way, every time Maximus kills someone in this movie, or he does something, or he does some kind of an attack, it is always awesome. With that music playing, very, very awesome. It really reminded me a lot of Game of Thrones at some points, just because the way the movie's constructed, I feel like they borrowed some of this they borrowed some stuff from Gladiator and put it into Game of Thrones. I think that's really cool, actually, the way that they did that. I don't know if that was intentional or whatever, but it really reminded me a lot of Game of Thrones. Do you guys get that vibe with Game of Thrones? I don't know. I probably got that vibe because I'm watching the show too much. But basically, I really enjoy Gladiator. And the only other thing I will say about this movie is, as I said, it is very emotional. It was surprisingly very emotional. I didn't expect it to be as emotional as it was, and I really enjoyed that it was very emotional because I didn't expect it to be. Also, this movie is 155 minutes long. It flies by like that because you're so into the movie. You're so into everything that's going on in the movie. Even if you're having a little conversation. There's this little conversation with Joaquin Phoenix and his son. It's very interesting. It's very important in the movie. Every scene in this movie is very, very important. Even if you are bored with the scene, it's still very, very interesting, and it's really great with the movie. You're never going to get bored with this movie. I'll say that. You're never going to get bored because there's literally a battle scene like every 10 seconds in this movie. There's not like 5 minutes that goes by without some sort of a combat scene, and that's really awesome with this movie. I thought that it was really awesome the way they did that, and it's just really cool. The editing of the movie was really good, and the extended cut, which I did not watch, is like 171 minutes. I don't know, I might watch that sometime, but I thought it was good for the length that it was. I didn't think it was too long, I didn't think it was too short. I thought it was just the right amount of time, because if it had been, like, say, 120-something minutes, like only 2 hours long, then I wouldn't have been as satisfied with this movie, because we had to see, him go through slavery and everything. That's one of the coolest parts of this movie, is seeing him go through that slavery. That's when you're rooting for him to get out of there and go back to Rome, where he lives, because you know something very bad is happening there. You don't know what's happening, all you know is that something really bad is happening there, and I think that's really awesome the way they did that with this movie. So yeah, also as I said, Gladiator did win Best Picture at the Oscars. It definitely does deserve it because it was a very, very good movie, and I highly recommend all of you check out Gladiator. It is a fantastic movie. It's very graphic. I'll say, as I said, it's one of the most graphic movies I've seen. It's very graphic, but definitely if you really like hero kind of stories, you know, kind of like a zero to hero type of story, because he wasn't really zero to hero, however, he was kind of with like the slave aspect of it. Like, he went from a slave to a hero, and I thought that was really cool. But if you like those kind of movies, definitely check out Gladiator. It's an amazing movie. You guys are going to love it. It's awesome. And I loved it too, and you guys are going to love it just as much because this movie is it's awesome. Alright, so that's pretty much it for my review of Gladiator. Let me know what you guys saw of this movie. Overall, as I said, it's really awesome. What do you guys think of the effects in this movie? What do you think of the performances in this movie? Overall, that's in my review. I hope you enjoyed it. And my next review will be for the mid-season premiere of Split Birth and the season premiere of The Foster. So I will see you guys for both of those reviews. Okay, bye.